Christmas Day. Alan's mum and dad watched with bated breath as he opened his big present. They'd had to save up for it all year and they just hoped that he liked it. He ripped off the paper. Yes, said Alan. It was a top of the range train set. Electric it was. He loved it. He played with it all day long until bedtime, and Alan's dad went to check on him, and he paused outside the bedroom door and listened. Ah, he could hear him. He was whistling happily inside. It was worth all that scrimping and saving. Alan's dad opened the door. It looked like a bomb had gone off in there. The whole thing had been taken to pieces. And when I say taken to pieces, I don't mean the track had been undone. I mean everything had been completely dismantled. The carriages were split open and the insides were on the outside. The tracks were taken to pieces and laid out around the room. The electronics were all dismembered. Even the plug had been taken to pieces. And sat in the middle of it all, with a big smile on his face and a screwdriver in his little hand, was Alan. "Don't worry, Dad," he said. "This is the best bit. I'll put it all back together in the morning." Now, how do I do that? Alan's dad was not impressed. "Mary, he's gone and done it again." Looking back, it was somewhat inevitable that Alan would end up with a job where he could take things to pieces and put them back together again and use that clever, agile mind to solve problems and those clever fingers to create new things. And in fact, Alan is now, well, he's got his dream job. He is head of costume, props, Armoury and Footwear at the Royal Shakespeare Company in Stratford-on-Avon. He's got his own workroom now. Here he sits at his desk. It's covered in papers, plans and paraphernalia. Some people think it's a bit of a mess. Well, some people don't know what they're talking about, do they? This is Alan's space and he knows where each and everything is. Mostly. There are boxes and boxes of bits and bobs, all the tricks and tools of the trade. There is sandpaper and shoe lasts and screwdrivers. There are bears' heads and battle axes and wire and wool and wings. He's lost track of how many pairs of wings he's made. The first time somebody asked Alan to make a pair of wings, he had no idea where to start, and he sat there and looked around the workroom and thought, now how do I do that? But he'd figured it out. He'd learnt how to make a form from wire and then to cover it with feathers or fabric or fanciful stuff. And then he'd learnt how to make the harness that attaches the wings onto the actor or actress. And he'd made the most beautiful pair of wings with embossed leather, just gorgeous. They were for Tinkerbell. The first time the actress had put them on, she'd been in raptures. She was skipping around the room. "They are gorgeous, Alan." "Thank you. One question though. What happens when I'm on my back?" "Eh?" said Alan. And his heart had sunk when they'd explained to him that Tinkerbell was going to be in a fight scene and at some point she was going to have to roll on the floor. "Well, that would have been really useful to know before I'd started the design," said Alan. And he had to take them all to pieces and start again. Somehow, he had to make a pair of wings that could be crushed and then spring back as if by magic. But you know what? He did it. He created wings that could be crushed and then fold back into magical things once more. Another problem solved. He was getting really good at problem solving. Oh, and then there was the time when the designer from Arabian Nights had come to see and said, "Dog's tails." I need 15 of them, and one of them has got to be able to wag. Well, a wagging dog's tail? Where would you even start with that? And if you made the tail, how would you get it to wag? And how would you attach it to the actor? He'd spent a long time thinking about that one. And in the end, it was something fairly simple. It was a length of sprung steel with a weight on one end, attached to a harness that the actor wore around his waist, the whole thing covered in fur, and when the actor wiggled his derriere, the tail would wag. Another problem solved. And so it went on day after day. Alan would come up with solutions to problems, and he would invent new things and new ways of doing things. One day he would have to cut out and shape and carve and emboss leather to make it look like armour. The next day he would have to work out how to make blood spurt from a fake dagger, or how to make a lion's head with a mouth that would open so it could roar. Every day a new challenge, every day something interesting. And for Alan, every day, well, it was just a little bit like Christmas.